After a few showers this morning, it turned into a beautiful day to get outside and get on the lake. But starting next week, if you plan to drive a boat, there are new rules about who can do so and who needs a permit. Starting July 1st, a new state law goes into effect that requires anyone between the ages of 12 and 21 to have a watercraft permit when they drive a motorized boat. Heidi Wigdahl joins us live from Medicine Lake with details. Hi, Heidi.
Hi, Julie. The DNR says for boating-related deaths in 2021, they saw historic highs, but for the past 2 years, they've seen historic lows, and they're hoping for that downward trend to continue.
Every now and then, we need a reminder. In this case, it's about a new state boating law.
It's just a reminder that it's going to help us all be safer and treat our resources better.
Starting July 1st, Minnesotans 12 or older, born after June 30th, 2004, will need a watercraft operator's permit to drive a motorboat or personal watercraft like a jet ski or Sea-Doo.
We have anglers go in the water all the time. You know, these wakeboard boats put 600 gallons of water in their boat and try to make the biggest waves they can. And, you know, it's like putting a weapon in a 12-year-old's hands.
12 to 17-year-olds already needed to take the online course and test, but this law expands it to 18 to 21-year-olds. Then for the next 3 years, the law phases in more ages until July 1st, 2028, when everyone born after July 30th, 1987 will need one.
The information you can take away from it is very valuable.
Nate Basinger isn't required to take the test, but he did it anyway.
For someone who hadn't started boating till later in life, just to be more familiar with the laws and etiquette and things like that. Even just like with conservation and invasive species and stuff like that. Minnetonka, you see a lot of young kids out on boats and stuff without adult supervision, and you have no idea what kind of background or information they've been given or if they just kind of were handed the keys.
The law also applies to those who want to rent and drive a motorized watercraft, including boats and jet skis.
I think it's a good thing to have. Just a baseline of education, just like you would before you put someone behind the wheel of a car.
With it being a new law, the DNR is focused more on education versus enforcement at first. You can take the course online. It's just under $35, and the DNR says they don't see any of that money. It goes to the third-party vendor in charge of that test. And it's a one-time fee. You can take it as many times as you need to, and once you have that permit, you have it for life. Back to you.
All right, good information. Thanks, Heidi.